Kalvintaka here. Today I want to share something of my experience with you guys about photography yes, we do believe there are tons and tons of photographers out there and some of them with really awesome experiences from around the world. So if I may add in, or even you yourself watching this video, I do sincerely and humbly believe that you guys might have come across questions like what lenses are you using, what model of cameras do you own, and how many megapixels does your camera has, etc, etc. Well, today forget, ignore and pay less attention to those questions. I'll come to that later, but because from some point it doesn't really encourage you at all, it doesn't encourage you much, but it confuses you. So no doubt it does play a very small role, but however, to an overall acceptance of photography, there is something most camera owners or photographers might have overlooked this from time to time. Now that is the concept of photography. And here's a quick tip. Here's a quick tip of an example. Right now, you gotta burn this in your mind. Right, photographers are like artists or even painters too. And of course, pictures or images, photography delivers a much vivid, outstanding, and even to an extent of a greater imagery of a subject you might be taking, because it will surely bring back memories when you look upon a work of photographers and artists or whoever. Now I give you a quick example, right? For example, when you see a painting like this, right, you will think of Pete Mondrian. I mean, he's an artist. And when you look at a painting like this, you will think of Salvador Dali. Now, this will be an endless voyage of history lesson, but we just ignore that, right? We just put this aside. But lastly, but not least, this is one piece of work I tell you. Now this I have to tell you. Remember the kissing soldier? Back in the days, the black and white photos. Now Alfred Einstein's day, he was the one who took the photos of this soldier named Glenn Mcduffie, who unfortunately passed away at the age of 85. I'm sorry, age of 86 on March 9, 2014, which is quite sad, and sad recent news actually. So God bless his soul. So now you know it, and alright, let's skip the history lesson and move along. From time to time, right, you will come across friends, family, relatives asking you questions like, I'm going for a holiday, what camera, suits me best, etc, etc. Well, I'm not here to tell you what to bring, but I do certainly can share what you, certainly can share to you the difference, between the compact camera and the DSLR. Now, the difference between them is no doubt, number one, the weight. The weight is different, isn't it obvious, So, and many of us love traveling, and travel light gives you the benefit to many things, but unfortunately for those photo enthusiasts, where a compact camera can only get you to a minimal, levels of satisfaction, whereby the DSLR is big, heavy, bulky, and it's insanely difficult to look after. However, it does give you the taste of being a professional photographer. Walking down the road, imagine this, walking down the road with a DSLR around your neck, people look at you and say, wow, it kind of gives you the adrenaline rush, so, but do keep an eye, thieves and stuff, predators are lurking everywhere, so just be careful, when bringing up DSLRs. So if you get into details, right, DSLR, right, they don't just look cool, it helps you to capture fast maneuvering objects, like, when you go to a racetrack, you see fast race cars, if you like nature, you go bird tracking, dirt bike racing, etc, etc, you name it. I mean, so I'm not going to go into details, much details on this though, but the overall rating for heavy cameras or DSLR is that it's stable, less shaky, and with the fast shutter speed, right, it produces incredible and multiple images in seconds, which you can choose later on, which ones you like the best. And I'm not saying that a compact camera is incapable of doing so. It's just that the DSLR has got more, more and more new features on the buttons, and even on the camera dial. I'm sorry, I'm just having this bad hiccup. And no doubt, the painful part is upgrades, Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, so the painful part is the upgrades, you have to get upgrades, which is not, it's very uncomfortable. But let's slide in the compact camera now. since we're at this DSLR, now we compare with the compact camera. As for the compact camera, right, no doubt, some famous brands do have the equivalent capability of a DSLR, you know, with option, with what do you call this, with the optional lens change, you know, body cover change, etc., etc. Now this it's amazing for, and it's good, and it's lovely for the ladies out there who's watching this video. If you love to dress up your cameras in different colors to fit in your mode, a compact camera is still the best, you know. But for those who love, you know, water photography or extreme sports, a compact camera, they do cater all kinds of waterproof casings too. Now, what's more is that the casing ensures that your beloved camera survives all extreme weather conditions. That includes rain, sand, dust, mud, you know, all these small irritating particles that end up ruining your camera. For this, it's a lot affordable than a DSLR. You know, when it comes to buying a digital camera, right, it's important to be aware of what you really need. You know, it's your need. The technology behind the newest camera, regardless of the makers and the brand, it surely has, you know, advanced exponentially over the last few years. And sometimes it's just so unbelievable, you know, to see such small cameras can produce such big image and stuff. So before I go any further into the decision making, here is another tip, you know, for you newbies. Keep in mind, when you go to the shop, right, when you look at the latest model, right, you see in the market, it might not be the right one for you. But of course, I mean, how many people like you and me can resist such beautiful body with tight racks all over, you know, I mean the shelves, right? Okay. So there is a few things that you have to consider, you know, before you pick up the right camera for yourself. You just have to, you know, think about it. Firstly, do take your time. Number one, do take your time to think about these questions before you hit the stores. Now, number one, what will you be using a camera for? Okay. Number two, what is the experience of your level of with cameras? Number three, will you be shooting mostly in automatic mode or manual features? Number four, now this is very important. How much are you looking to spend? How much are you looking to, you know, buy, etc., etc. You'll be a lot more prepared if you can make this decision, you know, if you answer these questions before buying a digital camera. You see, the store assistants, right, when you go to a store, they will walk up to you and ask you, what are you looking for? Or, worstly, they will come up to you and ask you to buy everything, you know. And knowing these answers will actually increase your confidence to buy, you know, to buy your favorite camera. So, like I said, before you buy your camera, you just have to do your homework. So, secondly, as like I mentioned earlier, pay less attention to the megapixel. No doubt, many years ago, the megapixel rating on a digital camera was extremely important. But today, however, most cameras come out with at least 5 megapixels, which is certainly, you know, enough to provide you a clear image. You know, on social medias, you guys post photos and stuff. I mean, it's clear enough. But the main thing, the main concern, you know, on the megapixel is that whether will you be printing your photos or not. You know, actually, a 4 megapixel will provide you a quality you need for a normal 4x5 print on a photo paper. But if you're going to blow your images up to Godzilla scale for advertisement purposes, then paying the extra money on the megapixel will be worthwhile. So now, thirdly, consider this: you are not just buying a camera. You know, you are not just buying a camera. You know, you have to think about those extra batteries you have to buy, those cases, you know, bags, tripod, flash, stabilizer, gliders, whatever you just name it. I mean, you know, so it's an investment. So, and I believe every camera shop, they do bundle sale as well. So you have to ask them to do bundle sales, and that's important that you ask yourself. You know, you ask yourself that you yourself ask them, do they have bundle sales? And so although DSLR is getting more cheaper and affordable these days, but do keep in mind that they require a lot more work, right? Remember that. So they're bulky, hard to take care of, and far more complicated to operate than point and shoot. Point and shoot means compact camera. But DSLR certainly have their great advantages, you know, and offer more features. but newer point and shoots are offering features that are very similar to some of those that you find in a DSLR. So now what I want you to do is you go read reviews before acquiring hands-on experience, right? You know, some salespeople can be very helpful, they can help you, you know, stuff, but some are not very knowledgeable of the differences between cameras. So check out both experts and user reviews online, or if you are a book reading kind of person, get yourself a copy of a photography magazine in a store near you in order to actually narrow down your possibilities on cameras. Once you've got your eyes on just a few cameras, now this is very important. When you choose cameras, right, never choose more than 3. It's very important. It's best if you can choose only 2, now that is the best part. If you choose more than 5, I mean, it confuses you. So when you choose a camera, try to choose less than 5 or maybe less than 3. You know, find them in the store near you, then later on find them in the store near you, you know, give them a test run. You know, have a try, play around with it. And remember, do not overchoose, okay? Remember that, do not ever overchoose. So go visit multiple stores. You will actually give you a great advantage, you know, when it comes to watching multiple people using cameras of your dream, as well as what do you call this? Comparing prices. Yes. So here's another tip. When it comes to buying a digital camera, you can never be too prepared. So always remember that. So finally, from a personal note, please, this is a personal note for me. So please, just maybe you have seen your friend, you know, who has a DSLR, and you want to have one too, but with a higher specification than your friends. Please don't do that, because that is not the way to selfie yourself. Alright, so that's all for now. I'm Kalvintaka, and thank you once again. Happy snapping.